Well, it's August right now, and I wanted to give an update on my potted plants. I just don't really know where to begin. I have lots of potted plants, and they consist of like grafted plants from Florida, lots of my own seedlings, not my own, but like seedlings of like name Florida varieties. There's also lots of atafel potted atafel seedlings that I plan to eventually graft. So I'm not really sure where to kind of start off. I'm gonna just kind of pick and choose here and there. So each time you see this video, it might be on a different ones. So different potted ones. So just kind of bear with me, and hopefully we'll see how it goes. Which format works better. So right now, it's going to show you some of my carries. So I got quite a bit of potted carry plants. I would say uh, 10, 10 trees overall, and there's quite a few of them that has fruits, like here, right here. This is a nice sized carry. Yeah, there's some other ones with some small fruitlets there. Nice sized carry here. I let some of the plants hold fruits and some didn't, and we'll see what happens. But I have quite a few of them, few carries, so I definitely want to just kind of go ahead and let it hold fruits. I mean, if your plant is smaller, I do recommend kind of holding off and letting them get bigger. But because I have quite a few carry trees, I am gonna let some of them hold fruits. So that's the correct carrying. This one's probably the most significant size one right here. And this another one here too. Smaller fruit. Okay. Here's some other grafted varieties. Again, these are all on these grafted ones are on Florida rootstocks. I have no intention of planting in the ground. They are intended to be in a pots, pretty much maybe for life. I'll be using a lot of them for scions, and I'll be testing out in terms of seeing if I could get an early crop from some of these potted trees. The issue in California is that it blooms quite often, so but it never holds just because of the dew and the weather. But I'm gonna let some of these potted one blooms early, like our first, get some of our first bloom in like December and January, and see how it does after it blooms. If the plants are under like a patio, and see if it fruits. I'm trying to see if I could get any kind of early fruits that's ripe in June or July. See if that's possible or not. So that's the second kind of part of phase of having some of these grafted plants, to see if I could get an early ripe fruit, as early as June or July. See if that could be done. I don't know if it can be done, but it's gonna just be a test. Besides that, most of my other fruits, they probably won't mature until like November or so. So this one's a buttercream. I will be removing quite a bit of these branches to be used as scions. My approach with a lot of these potted trees and grafted trees and kind of mangoes overall, I do minimize the branching. I don't need a lot of branching. I try to minimize branching. It kind of minimizes the flowering, and it kind of helps with developing size to it. So this is buttercream. It's a good size trunk. So hopefully it blooms this coming next year, and see what happens. This right here is a Fallon, which is it's just looking really great. Like the limbs were so floppy with so many different branching. I have removed so much of it. I would say I probably removed maybe kind of close to like a dozen or so limbs to graft, and like the ones that's left is finally beginning to look very nice and vertical and strong. So it's just kind of flopping everywhere. So this is Fallon. Here's the one I kind of show you guys before, my oldest one right there. It's sold to me as a Kill Savoy. I'm pretty sure this is a Golden Queen Jin Huang Cat Saigon, one of those. Okay. Here's some of my newer plants, which I got like around April. Got quite a few that I got from Tropical Acres Farm, but a few of them has like done that's few of them has like grown really well. Some that just hasn't done anything. But this was one, a variety called 3415. There's not much information on there, but look at this. When I got it, it was about this size right here. So it's flushed from there. From right there, you see it flushed once. And it's flushed again. And it's pretty large, and it seems like it's close to flushing another one. So pretty aggressive grower. Don't know if it's the rootstock or if it's the variety, but you know, something we'll find out more as it goes along. So it's called 3415. Really huge, kind of tripled in size since I got it. Okay, let's see what else. This is like a Munkunsi, looking really good. This is a Jahangir. Had so many branching. I am planning to harvest quite a bit of this to graft. Just kind of waiting for it to mature a bit, the scions, and then I'm going to use it. Here's some of my newer additions that I got this year. So this is Banganapali. I flushed a couple times. It's looking pretty good. Let's see what I got here. This is a Terrelay. And then this is a Chansa. This is actually not on a Florida rootstock. It's on some sort of Asian rootstock. This is some kind of babysitting this a bit for my good buddy out there, Jeremy. Hey. Jeremy, you watching? Here's how the tree looks like. Has not flushed yet, so I'm hoping it'll start flushing soon. So this is Chansa. Let's see, so a lot of new plants that's doing pretty well. All grafted on Florida rootstock. Some of these ain't on turpentine, from my understanding, but nonetheless, I don't have any intention of putting it into the ground. I am pretty much using it as a scion source and as a potential kind of fruiting potted plant in the future. This one is, I think this is fruit, Juicy Peach, I think. Yep, this Juicy Peach. 2 branches, 2 flushing right there. A few more grafted. Quite a bit of grafted Florida trees that I have. And here's some seedlings. I do like using, I have not been separating my seedlings because I am kind of selecting for both kind of the clones and the fertilized trees. So I have been keeping any kind of polyembryonic seeds together. Kind of this. So this one's PPK. Okay, there's 2 nice sized trunks. One of them is definitely the clone. I just don't really know which one. They kind of smell the same, look the same. Not much difference in terms of coloring on the leaves or the growth habit. I mean, one is bigger, but there's not really much difference in trying to see which one is clearly a fertilized one or not, you know. So here's one that is a coconut cream seedling. This one's definitely the fertilized seedling, and the rest are the clones. So that's some of the seedlings I have. I have quite a bit of seedlings, and that's kind of been the process I've been going through with it. I've been just keeping it all together. All right. Okay, up next is some of the autophil seedlings I have in pots. These will probably get grafted next year. So, you know, pretty good sized trunk at this point. They're all about 2 years old. Yeah, so 2 years old. We got quite a few of these autophil seedlings like this right here. You know, they're gonna be grafted over. I got alfalfas like in the pots too, like this, where I just kind of stick them all together and then figure out how to separate out later. So these alfalfas right here, you can see these were all started out last year. Pretty good size right now, so they all started out last year. I know once I separate them out of the pot, they get they get fall back a little behind just because they take some time to recover. So those are the alfalfa seedlings, and I got lots of seedlings too that kind of needs to be uprooted. But it's a bit surprising how well they've been doing in these tiny. I think these are like 1-gallon pots. And it's been kind of surprising. Some of them is like this one, for example. This is a PPK, and just look at the size. This is a tiny pot, but look at the size of it. It's kind of gone all the way up here. Definitely needs to be repotted. Got quite a few of those where I need to repot the plants. So it's the plant. And a tiny 1-gallon that needs to be eventually repotted. Here's an interesting one in the pot. This is an air layered Manila. So air layered branch, air layered Manila, doing pretty well. So air layers, at least in California, they do pretty well. You don't get any kind of strong hurricane or winds that require to have like a taproot anyway. So I'm probably gonna, maybe I'll plant this out next year. So it's air layered Manila. I mean, that's about it. There's a lot more seedlings, but it would take forever to kind of go through everything and kind of just picking and choosing which one to kind of show you guys in pots. But this is the ones for today. Probably next video I'll probably cover a few other potted ones. But thanks for checking in.